What's going on, guys? It's Danny from Slow Restoration, and it finally happened. The Chevrolet gave us this Corvette C8. Let me start that over. What's going on, guys? It's Danny from Slow Restoration, and it finally happened. Chevrolet gave us the Corvette C8, the first mid-engine production Corvette. It's an amazing car. People are taking delivery left and right all over the place with them, and the world gave us coronavirus, so that sucks. So we're not in lockdown yet. It's probably expected here soon. Honestly, the whole country's probably going to go into lockdown here eventually, sooner than later. But regardless, it's a nasty rainy day, as you can see. It is springtime, so I do have springtime allergies, and the weather isn't helping. As of now, I do not have the coronavirus, so let's try and keep it that way. Just try and be socially responsible. You know, we're not in lockdown, so we can do stuff. Just try to follow guidelines. It's inconvenient, yes. No one really wants to do it, but it's for the best. And if we can squash this sooner than later, no one knows how long it's going to take. But like I said, just try and be responsible. You know, older people are more susceptible, people with weaker immune systems, so try and avoid those people at all costs. Not that we don't want to visit our loved ones or relatives or anything like that, but it's for their own good and maybe our own good also. So let's try our best to follow the guidelines. And we can't quit living, of course, but we don't need to be in large gatherings with people and with close proximity. If you do have to be around someone, you maybe try and wear gloves, wear a mask, whatever it takes. We are on our way over to the project, the new Turbo GMC project. We got some stuff going on with that. Once we get there, we'll discuss some other things. This whole situation with a coronavirus is gonna change that build slightly. So we're still gonna go ahead with it, but obviously testing and stuff like that. Dry strips are closed down. We can't do any time testing other than like maybe on the street with a stopwatch or something like that. But that's kind of boring. So we were going to do direct comparisons with all that, but we'll go over that. Let's get there first, and we'll see where we're at. Back to coronavirus real quick, guys. I mean, I know we're a car YouTube channel here, but it does affect a lot of things. It's going to affect the Camaro build. Our ability to get parts in may be affected. Again, this Turbo GMC build is 100% going to be affected. Even here in rural Pennsylvania, it's going to be affected. And it's kind of crazy that one virus like this has really affected the whole world. It's kind of mind-boggling and eye-opening. And I think this is going to be one of those things, one of those events that's going to change a lot of things in the future. The way things are dealt with. I'm sure there's going to be policies put in effect after this to try and help future situations, but we just got to deal with it the best we can. And like I said, we can't quit living, so we just got to do what we can. Hopefully sooner than later we can get back to normal activities, like the drag strip being back open. That'll be one big one. Being able to have car shows and events, that's another huge thing. We had a lot of things planned this spring and summer, and as of right now, it's questionable whether we're going to be able to do most of those. So it is what it is, guys. We'll make the best of it. All right, guys, we're here with the new Turbo GMC build, and as you can see, it's already up on the lift, and Mike, the owner, actually already made some pretty good progress. Like I said, we're gonna change plans here a little bit just because of our current situation. We can't do as much testing. So as you saw, or you might have saw from the previous videos, we did a shift kit and a 4L80E trans, which was this one. He had a spare good trans, so we did the shift kit in this transmission. The original trans for his truck is right here. Still a good trans. He just removed this. This one already had the shift kit installed in it. So we're just swapping trans to make this a little easier and quicker. So it's already out. This is the new one going back in. The Yank torque converter is right here. It's a this one is actually a 3400 Yank Pro Truck triple disc converter. Same converter I have in my truck, but mine's a 3200 stall. We went with just a little bit more stall on this one. So this one is a 3400 stall. So again, this is going to be the first major modification on this truck. We did do the MSD two-step already on it, but that doesn't really do anything for performance until we do all this other stuff. So the trans is going to be the first thing. HD2 stock trans, HD2 shift kit, and a Yank Pro Truck 3400 torque converter. Let's go ahead and get this button back up and we'll see how it sounds. And guys, we are wearing gloves just for, you know, hand protection, but also germ protection at this point too. So we'll keep our distance from each other and we'll get this job done. All right guys, obviously we didn't show any step-by-step here, but everything's back together. Transfer case is on. Everything's hooked back up. Drive shafts in, front, back. This does have the one-piece aluminum drive shaft. We'll see how it holds up. Yeah, it's all good to go. We're gonna lower this down, top the trans off. We'll get it fired up and see how that converter works. All right guys, we are filled up, topped off. Sounding good. It's all stock except for the trans right now. Stock air filter, stock muffler. This is the first major modification we did, like I said, except for doing the MSD two-step. So we have our Yank Pro Truck 3400 converter in there. We have an HD2 shift kit in there. Other than that, it's stock. So they do want you to break the torque converter in for 150 miles. So he's going to drive this truck as is, nice and easy for 150 miles. And then we're going to get into the motor. We'll start doing our cam, heads, and all that good stuff. All right guys, let's back it out and see how it reacts. Now these newer torque converters, when you put them in gear, even though it's a 3400, it immediately starts moving. It's not a super loose converter like an old school converter, and this is built with boost in mind also. So right now it's not gonna stall at 3400. It will when we get boost behind it, but right now we're not even sure. We're not even gonna try it right now, but everything's quiet, everything sounds good. There's no drips. So let's take this thing for a spin. All right, so far so good. Like I said, we are gonna take it easy a little bit. We're gonna do about 150 mile break in. They want the clutch in the torque converter to break in nice. All right guys, we're a few miles into the trip now. The HD2 shift kit makes a huge difference even in stock form. So definitely worth doing even if you have a stock truck or mildly modified. We haven't really checked the converter as far as flash up yet. Like I said, we're not too concerned with it. Once we get boost or even the cam in it, we're making more horsepower and torque. That's where it's gonna shine. But anyway, stay tuned for the next step coming really soon. All right guys, the only thing left to do to that truck is drive it some, get that converter broke in, and then like I said, we can jump on the cam install, the head install. That's gonna be kind of the, I guess, third stage of the build. Right now, the first stage of the build was the transmission and torque converter. Second stage is gonna be the fuel system. It's gonna be a big, second stage is gonna be a big one. Fuel system, heads, cam, all that, and then a tune, which the truck has not been tuned yet. It was dynoed but not tuned, so it will be tuned at that point because the injectors along with the fuel system need to be tuned to make it run. So heads, cam, complete fuel system, and then we'll do a little bit of driving testing with that. With the tune will come more dyno session, another dyno session, so we'll have dyno numbers to go along with that, and we'll compare it to stock numbers. So once those new dyno numbers come in, there'll be heads, cam, fuel system, converter, and an HD2 shift kit. So that we'll see how much that bumps it up. Should be pretty dramatic, but we'll see. And then the third stage will be the turbo system. And again, this truck will be getting a front mount turbo system over my current truck's rear mount system. My truck does good, but we're gonna compare those two. Hopefully by then the drag strips will be open and we'll be able to do some side-by-side comparisons with that. I mean, the dyno tells some story, but real life tells a different story. So again, guys, be safe out there. It's annoying, but we need to be responsible, and you know, social distancing, all those type of terms is something we just need to deal with right now. So thanks for tuning in. Have a good day. And finally, the Corvette C8, I love it. I want one. I'm not gonna get one. It ain't happening, but I would love to have one. I think it's an amazing car. Can't wait to get up close to it and maybe take a ride in one. But so far, I'm loving them.